Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGame LLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at Nitwit, a game of loops and spools by Matt Leok and published by Z-Man Games. Now this game might, right off the bat, might look a little different. That's because the box cover is actually removed. So this actually comes with a box sleeve that's going to help keep things nice and compressed. But honestly, I don't think you really need it. It looks really cool, but I think it's more of a pain to put on and take off than it's worth. And I think this box works perfectly for what it needs to do. It's closed nicely. There's not a ridiculous amount of components inside that are going to shift around. And I think this box is actually pretty sweet. I like this design on it. So that's right off the bat my first organization tip, but let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, we have this awesome magnetic clasp that's going to open up. And inside, we're going to see that we have all of the components in here just kind of sat there. So right off the bat, we have all of the cards that you'll need for the different words in here. And you'll pull them out, and boom, there's our tag. So that's our time to shuffle the tags. So that's on the back here. And then the front here is when you actually are going to be pulling them out and clipping. Once you reach that end that says, hey, you've gone through the whole package here, it's time to reshuffle. So kind of cool. It has a built-in timer. You'll pull this one, pull it back there at the end of the game. So this is a new copy of this game. We played it over at another friend's house and was very impressed with it. So we got a copy for the library and thought I'd show you an organization video here. So really nice here. Make sure you're pulling from the front and putting back in the back. And the game actually comes with an insert inside, but the insert is actually built into the box. So if the insert gets damaged, unfortunately, this is actually attached to the box. So the inside lining is paper. And I don't know if you can see it very well here, but if you do have a bit of a tear, that's unfortunately how it's going to be. So this insert is kind of stuck. So you're stuck with the insert, but luckily it is a solid one. There's just one big change you're going to have to make. So that goes in that upper right section. On the left side here, you're going to have this nice plastic container that is going to make sure that these spools do not fly around. And you don't actually need to take out this plastic container. You can leave it where it is. So that fits nicely in that left side. But the spools themselves, you're going to pull out. And these are going to have the spools that you're going to need for the players. And you can simply just unwrap them like this. And then this is the Venn diagram that you're going to be doing. So each player will need their own spool. And each player is going to need a string. Very straightforward here. Those can simply wrap up. Get those in a second. Up here we have this next section. These are going to be all the clips for the different colored strings. And so you'll pull this whole entire thing out. We just simply have a bag in here. But the main reason that we have this bag are for these button tokens. Now the base game originally is going to come with button tokens, and they have you fitting them in here. I would not do that because of the way this insert is made. They're actually going to slide inside of the box and get lost in this built-in insert. So my recommendation is just simply take them out, keep them in this separate plastic bag, and then put those clips in. So that way you're going to open this every game, but this way that those buttons are not flying around. Next, in this bottom right section, we have our pads of papers. So let's go ahead and show you what those look like. These are the score sheets that you're going to be giving to each player. And they're on this really cool black paper. And that's why the pencils they give you are white. It's a great aesthetic, and I think this game is just really pretty, and the production is awesome. So that all goes on that right section. And then we have in the very bottom here, we have an extra sheet, and that's in case you want to print your own copies once these initial run out. And then you'll probably have to switch to a different color of pen at that time. So pretty cool though that they do include that just in case. So really like this whole production as a whole. So let's go ahead and wrap it all up. So first off, we've got our box of cards. We're going to put that in that top section. We're going to take our Nitwit score pads, put them in the bottom here, followed by our white pencils. Then we're going to take our buttons as well as our clips and simply place that on top of those. And the last thing that you're going to have to do has to do with the spool and the string. Now the best way to wrap up the spool and the string is simply put your finger on the bottom here and start at the top and then just simply wrap like so. And once again, these don't have to be perfect because once again, this is all about speeding up that setup and tear down time. So that's fine. And you'll slot it in to that left section there. So once again, not the prettiest thing once you get that original packaging off, but it will speed up that tear down and setup. And the last thing I do want to mention is it has a little reminder here at the top of how you're actually going to be playing, which is really nice. And then it also has the rules of play tucked nicely in here. So if you didn't see the rules, that's because that's where they are. They were kind of hard to see at the top. And that is organizing Nitwit, a game of loops and spools. If you have any questions about what you saw here, please let me know down in the comments below. Have you ever played Nitwit? What do you think of the game? How do you organize your copy? I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Side Game Strong.